What are you looking at? It's many years ago now. My friend and I are looking out over a football field and we're watching a team run through their practice. We're talking. We're talking about women, about our relationships with them. There's laughter, there's frustration, there's passion of all sorts, and of course, many more questions than we ever get the opportunity to find answers to. The conversation ends and we get in the car and drive off. Now, this may seem like the same sort of conversation that a couple girlfriends might have, except for one very important fact. My friend and I barely make eye contact with one another throughout the conversation as we both look in the same direction out onto the football field. We look in the same direction. Two women discussing the same topic would most likely spend the majority of the time looking at each other. So what? How do these sort of communication patterns affect a marriage? Well, both men and women have different expectations about what the purpose of conversation tends to be. As young men, we were having a conversation about a particular topic. We were doing something together, and as a result of our conversation, our friendship had an opportunity to grow. The growth of our friendship was not the main goal of the conversation, but a byproduct. We were doing something together first. Conversely, two girls or women very often have the relationship as the primary goal and the topic being discussed as secondary. The topic is a means to build a relationship. By putting the relationship first, the women are sending a message to each other that this is something worth investing in. Now, as men, we judge the value of the conversation first by what is being discussed, and women tend to judge the value of the conversation first by how it's being discussed. This is why the main complaint men have is that women are wasting their time with unimportant information, and women say that men don't care. What each gender values most while communicating is a reflection of their primary fears. Men's of being incompetent, and women's of being alone. For women, when communicating with a man, you may need to tell him why the information you're sharing is relevant and useful. If he has a sense of this, then there's a much greater chance of you getting your primary need met for deeper intimacy, which can enhance the building of the relationship. Men can and will open up emotionally more than you realize, but not if they don't see the logic behind the information being shared. For men, when communicating with a woman, less is often better. If a woman's primary fear is of being alone, then the best antidote to that is for you to listen with no other goal than to hear what she has to say. If she feels heard, then you both win. Do less for more success. You don't have to agree with anything she says. You don't have to like anything she says. What she says is probably not a reflection of the job you're doing as her mate. What she says may be completely irrelevant to your life, but if you can simply listen, show you care, you win.